You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, GH fans, it's Belinda, and I'm seeing a lot of dissatisfaction on Soap social media with a lot of the storylines going on right now. So today, I want to talk about a few of these garbage plots, and let's see if we touch on one of the storylines that you find upsetting, distasteful, or just plain bad. See if we picked one of the ones that's bothering you. And hey, please subscribe if you have not. Now let's just dive right in. So while I'm talking about the plots, I am going to include some mentions from Soap social media just to underscore exactly what some of you guys are saying, because these are the sort of tweets and posts that inspired this video, and there's literally hundreds and hundreds of them. I'm guessing probably closer to thousands, and all of them very recent. This is an overarching one, not about a specific plot. Sunshine Peach tweeted, "I feel like I'm hitting the point where I no longer am hoping for GH to improve and instead just want it to be canceled. And I hate that I feel that way." I'm right there. I want it to stay on the air, but I want it to be good and watchable and enjoyable, like in the heyday, So the first plot I want to talk about is Laura Spencer Collins trying to free hook killer Heather Weber from prison. Rach72675 tweeted, "Dear GH historian / head writer, this Heather story is proving two things. One, you don't want viewers back. And two, you don't care about show history or how this stupidity makes vets look. Okay, so that's three things." And then here for Sprina tweeted, "So when are the pitchforks coming for Laura? I hope Trina leads the way. Spencer was a target for that hooker too. Laura doesn't care. That isn't a good grandmother, not even close." Some others are saying they're still fans of Genie Francis and John Lundstrom, but are totally over Laura and Kevin and this plot. Even Heather's character knows this plot is dumb and she deserves to stay in prison. She said it herself on the Thursday, the 12th episode. So, or was it the 13th? The 13th. So who is going to go to Pentonville and talk Heather into seeking her freedom? Because she told Curtis she didn't want it. But I have a feeling someone's going to go try and convince her. And then just attached to this are just other things that are outrageously dumb. Like the scene where Alexis had to remind Diane that she got serial killer Franco off, and that could be a precedent for this case. Diane was in shock and then in tears, like somehow Diane forgot that case or didn't in her mind see the similarities between Heather's case and her son Franco's case until not a lawyer, Alexis, points them out. That's just insanely stupid. And then there's the whole flawed premise that underlines this whole story. Heather's been a psycho pretty much since she came on screen at GH, like the late 70s, decades before her hip went bad. The premise is bad. The execution is bad. Everything is bad. The second thing I want to talk about, and this relates to the first one, is Trina getting no justice and being sidelined. People were actually annoyed that Trina didn't read Laura for filth on the most recent episode and didn't really confront her. Of course, Tabyana Ali gets to read the script she's given, The mayor is enabling, although she says she's not, but she is, enabling a serial killer's release who was out targeting people that, the Hook's psycho daughter Esme didn't like, namely Trina and other people. Trina should be full of rage. And this is after weeks of really not seeing Trina at all. They only started showing her when they brought in Gio, because they're clearly trying to do a Sprina 2.0 there. Is it going to be Gina? I don't know. Giona? Anyway, but, we didn't get to see her grieve. We heard Curtis talking about her grief, but we haven't actually seen it on screen because they haven't been using her. Joss got more screen time and sympathy while grieving her breakup from Dex than Trina did grieving the death of the man she loved. Just a whole pile of fans think the writers are sidelining her for racist reasons. I can't speak to that. I wouldn't even know, but it is neglectful writing for whatever reason. As told by Misha tweeted, "Spencer's family is full of disappointments. Trina deserves better than this. All right, the third thing I want to talk about is the fact that Sonny Corinthos is in a bipolar spiral and no one has noticed. No one. USNCS tweeted, Christina is confused because her dad is like two different people, but she doesn't even suspect that maybe he is in a bipolar cycle. Yeah. Carly said, are you taking your medication? He said, yes. She checked the bottle. She's like, okay. Some other people have asked, are you taking your medication? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, oh, okay. They've seen him in a bipolar spiral before. We, as longtime GH watchers, have all seen this before. We all know the symptoms, but nobody else is even, it's like dawned on them. It hasn't clicked, you know? Plus, what a totally unique plot. Somebody messing with someone else's mental medication, something groundbreaking they've never done before, you know, except all the other times they did it, like with Sonny, like with Morgan. And if I really dug through my cranium, I could probably think of some other tainted and swapped medication plots. This is not new. All right. The Finn family seems to really be bothering fans. A lot of people are not loving the way that they are doing things with this. And let's be real, Gregory's death was a gift. ALS is a horrible disease. It's a horrible way to go in the end. And instead, he got to die peacefully in his sleep after a great day. Finn should be obviously sad that his dad is gone, but happy that his dad did not go out miserable, gasping for his last breath, stuck in a wheelchair, possibly on a ventilator, with little to no quality of life for who knows how long, you know? And it was a gift. I mean, if somebody in my I have somebody in my family, my mother-in-law, who's dying right now, and it's a terrible disease. It's a painful disease. If she passed away in her sleep, it would be like, oh my gosh, she's not in pain anymore. I mean, a lot of you have been there. So yeah, what Finn is doing right now is ridiculous. And then the whole Finn drunken spiral thing, it's going to suck up a bunch of screen time. Liz still has no plot of her own. She's still propping him. And beyond that, you know, there was Gregory's funeral. This has made a lot of people mad too. Everybody got dressed up, went to say goodbye, and there's a permanent monument to Gregory Chase. And it's not that they don't want Gregory to have this. They just are talking about how much better he was treated than other people that have died. For instance, Soapy Housewife tweeted, Oscar got a rock, Gregory got a bench, and Spencer got what? Bubkiss. Trina's not even allowed to mourn properly or express her POV, point of view. And I don't give a flying that he's not really dead because no one in Port Chuck knows that. He died young, he died tragically, and he gets nothing. I agree 100%. I've not really ever been a Finn fan. I much preferred Silas Clay. And, you know, now he's gone from uninteresting to just a downright annoyance in terms of storylines. All right. And the last storyline I want to talk about is the surrogacy story. That's really rubbing a lot of people the wrong way in many ways. Christina had to basically force her egg and womb on them so that Molly would have a bio tie to the kid. But then there's the whole thing where Molly really has no legal rights. TJ does, because that's his sperm, Christina's egg. They are the biological parents. And in New York, you know, we've heard a lot about this. So obviously they've been laying this out in a while. There's going to be some kind of fight or something. And then we've got TJ, and he's been doing this for weeks and weeks, freaking out about Sonny and how she can't be around him and how he's a threat. And that was before the beating at the wedding reception. You guys remember when TJ moved out of his mom's house and into Sonny's house where he was living basically like an extra son of Sonny's? Remember that? TJ and Sonny were friends. They had a very almost paternal and son relationship. It feels like the writers don't know the show's history or don't think viewers know the show's history, or they just don't care and they feel like it's fine to do constant retcons rewriting history. They should have explained some sort of evolution of TJ's feelings for Sonny, because it went from Sonny and I are cool to Sonny's the worst person in Port Charles and the unborn baby can't be around him. whiplash from the retcon there. And also, Molly never shows any affection to her child growing in her sister's body. Now, granted, it's not her egg, but still, that's the baby she's going to raise. She should be at doctor's appointments, rubbing her sister's belly, feeling the baby kick, listening to the heartbeat, all that stuff. And now, out of nowhere, we have Blaze saying she wants that baby to be theirs, even though her homophobic mother won't let her live her truth. And Blaze is letting that happen. She's letting her mom steamroll her and keep her in the closet. And now she wants to skip ahead to having a baby with a woman that she can't publicly acknowledge as her girlfriend. I mean, all right. Those are the 5 plots. And I want to talk about one other thing, though. Little tidbit, showrunner Frank Valentini dropped on the Emmy red carpet about a male cast member coming back that he thinks is going to thrill fans. Let's be real. And this is a constant from Soap's social media. This is not simply my opinion, but Frank seems to be so out of touch with what fans want and what would actually thrill them. And he also doesn't seem to care what fans truly want, that I am struggling to get excited about it. If he resurrects Peter August, for instance, a lot of people are going to lose it. GH fan 10130 tweeted, I will give FV, Frank, credit. Teasing that a former cast member is returning is great buzz for GH and will get fans interested to see who's it to be. The problem is FV has lost trust with the fans, and most don't trust it's going to be somebody we actually want to see back. Now, aside from that cast member, there's another little casting tidbit that has completely outraged fans. Frank Valentini has brought in Perez Hilton, celebrity blogger, the guy who likes to draw penises on people's faces and bodily fluids on their faces. That's his claim to fame, among a bunch of other infamy. Brought him in for a cameo. If you go to Instagram and you look where General Hospital posted about it, I do not see one positive comment. Not one. I'm going to run down real fast for you because I know this video is getting long, but just some of the comments that are there. We don't want this. And GH didn't read the room. And this is embarrassing. Yuck. Fast forward. Just when I thought GH couldn't get any worse, this happens. And then this. Out of all the famous gay drama influencers, you pick the most problematic of all. Other people said gross, called him a bully, and said it was a bad decision. One person suggested everybody skip General Hospital, take it off their DVRs, and don't watch it for the entire week during whatever week that Perez Hilton episodes airs so that the ratings hit an all-time low. Basically, like a boycott is what people are suggesting. And if you don't know why this person is problematic, go to his Wikipedia page, scroll down to the controversy section, which is the longest part of his Wikipedia page because it is stunning. I am not sure what they were thinking and why with these storylines, with so many things, why they are systematically making the soap harder to watch by the day. There's so many people who want to love General Hospital, who want to watch General Hospital, who want to encourage other people to come back to General Hospital. But right now, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen until they do better. There are so many things, sloppy things, and they've just brought back one of the writers they fired. They fired what I thought was a good writer that they had brought in, and some of his stuff was really good. And then now he's gone, and it's like they have one foot nailed to the floor and they're just spinning and just hemorrhaging. I don't even know. Sloppy things like John Cates not knowing who Sam is when he knows everything about Jason's past. It's like almost every scene is so problematic and almost all the storylines are deeply problematic. I don't understand it. I don't understand why they're doing this, and they have to be aware, right? So these are choices they're making. So that's the end of the rant. And again, not my opinions, your opinions. You inspired this video when I spend a lot of time on Soap's social media, reading your tweets, reading your comments, and Let me know what you think. Let me know if I touched on the plot that's bothering you the most on General Hospital. Definitely drop your comments. Please subscribe if you have not. Come back soon. We are here talking General Hospital 7 days a week, as long as it survives. And as always, this is Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.